Seahawks Nation, Seattle is on fire and you need to see this right now. The quarterback who showed up with plenty of doubters just flipped the script, led a breathtaking final drive, and completely silenced the critics while firing up the 12s. But that's not all. A massive rookie is quickly becoming this offense's secret weapon, taking over games in a way nobody saw coming. And hold up, because it wasn't all sunshine. One of the biggest names on defense went down with an injury and might leave the team in a tough spot. Will the front office act fast and make a bold move to keep this defense at an elite level? Is this the start of a legit playoff run or just a temporary sigh of relief? Stick with me till the end, because today I'm breaking down every detail and showing you how this could flip the entire season. Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Today's video is just flat out wild. Let's kick things off with the guy who came to Seattle surrounded by skepticism, Sam Darnold. A $100 million contract will always raise eyebrows when the QB hasn't proven he can be the guy. He was coming off a solid year in Minnesota, but what most people remembered was that ugly finish against the Lions and Rams, getting sacked 9 times in the wild card game. The question was unavoidable: does Darnold have the guts to lead a team trying to climb back to the top? This past Thursday, he answered in the best possible way. In the same stadium where he had one of the worst nights of his career, he went 22-for-34 for 242 yards and a touchdown, but what will be remembered forever is that game-winning drive in the final seconds. Darnold stayed cool, delivered a laser to Jackson Smith-Njigba, and set up Jason Myers perfectly for the game-winning field goal. That's the kind of moment that rewrites a quarterback's narrative. It's not just about the box score, it's about poise, about showing the locker room you're the guy they can trust when the pressure's sky high. Mike Macdonald couldn't hide his excitement after the game, saying Darnold is playing like a man on a mission and that his commitment is raising the level of the entire roster. Through 3 games, Darnold has thrown for 905 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, and is completing 70% of his passes. This isn't just production, it's command, it's efficiency, it's confidence. He's shutting down the critics and winning over Seahawks Nation. But this success isn't happening in a vacuum. The coaching staff deserves credit too. Offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak has been outstanding, dialing up a balanced attack that mixes the run and the pass in a way we haven't seen here in years. Against the Cardinals, Seattle came out in 12 personnel for the first 13 offensive snaps. That's not by accident, that's game plan football, a strategy to get physical and control the tempo. The payoff came quickly with A.J. Barner's touchdown, and he's turning into one of the best stories of the season. The 6 feet 6 inches, 250-pound 4th-rounder is becoming a legit red zone threat. 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games, plus he's versatile enough to be used in the tush-push, sneaking under center to pick up first downs. Having a tight end who can block, catch, and move the chains is a luxury. After the game, Barner said he believes Seattle can be one of the league's best teams if they keep playing this way, and based on how this offense is looking, it's hard to disagree. The play-action game is clicking, linebackers are getting frozen trying to stop the run, and it's opening up deep shots for Smith-Njigba and even for Zach Charbonnet out of the backfield. This is the kind of offensive identity that keeps defenses guessing and gives this team consistency. And it's not just about numbers, it's about building an identity that the players can rally around, something that can carry this team through the toughest part of the season. Still, it wasn't all good news. Fans held their breath when DeMarcus Lawrence left the game in the first half with a quad injury. He never returned, and seeing him on the sideline without pads was a clear sign he was done for the day. Lawrence was brought in to stabilize the pass rush and be that veteran presence up front. Without him, Seattle leaned on Derek Hall and Uchenna Nwosu, with Boyd Mate gutting it out despite being questionable before kickoff. The trio got the job done against Arizona, generating pressure and racking up sacks, but depth is now a concern, and that could become a problem in longer games or against tougher offensive lines. Lawrence has 12 tackles and 2 TFLs this season, and his presence is huge on third downs. Depending on how serious this injury is, don't be surprised if John Schneider pulls the trigger on an aggressive move. A trade could completely reshape this defense for the stretch run. And you know how Schneider operates. If he sees a window to upgrade, he won't hesitate. This front office has never been afraid to be bold when it matters most. What really stood out was the team's composure. Closing out games isn't something you just learn overnight. Seattle was tested, let Arizona claw back in, and still didn't collapse. That's growth. Darnold, who's been criticized before for folding under pressure, showed he's learned from the past. The offensive line, which had taken heat all week, held strong on that final drive. The receivers looked in sync. And from a tactical standpoint, when you control the clock with heavy formations, you keep your defense fresh and limit the other team's chances. That was key to the defense staying aggressive even without Lawrence. Clint Kubiak might have found the formula for this team: physical, disciplined, patient football that wears opponents down. It feels like a throwback to early Pete Carroll-era Seahawks football, but with a modern twist that fits today's NFL. It's the kind of football that gets 12s on their feet and makes Lumen Field shake. For the 12s, the takeaway is clear: this team looks like it has what it takes to make real noise in January. The schedule doesn't get any easier, but if the offense stays this efficient and the defense holds up even with some missing pieces, Seattle has every reason to dream big. The Darnold-Barner connection could become one of the coolest storylines of the year. Picture this offense in the playoffs with a confident QB, a ground game that sets the tone, and multiple weapons in the passing game. The NFC is wide open, and Seattle could crash the party. Of course, everything depends on staying healthy and how the defense adjusts if Lawrence misses extended time. But this team showed fight, showed resilience, and that's usually a good sign for what's coming next. The takeaway is clear: 12s. This group is maturing at the perfect time. Sam Darnold showed poise and leadership, A.J. Barner is emerging as a key piece, and the defense proved it can still get stops even when shorthanded. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think best defines this moment for the Seahawks? Darnold's ice-cold final drive, Barner's rise in the offense, or the challenge of keeping the pass rush alive without Lawrence? Drop it in the comments. I want to know what Seahawks Nation is thinking. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. This season is just getting started and it's about to get wild. Let's push this team to the top. Go Hawks!